Hey guys, this is Random Gaming here with another video for you guys, and today I'm going to be doing my second part to my Mean Streets of Gadgetzan review. So the first part includes the neutrals, and it also includes Druid cards and Hunter cards. If you haven't seen that video, then you should go check it out. Link in the description below. So this is part 2, so we're going to be doing the rest of the class cards, which I haven't covered, and I'm going to be doing the tri-class cards, which we'll get to. So, first off is Mage. So, 0 mana, spell, Freezing Potion, freeze an enemy. This card is not that good, because freeze on its own is not very good. I guess if you want to make a freeze deck, I mean, this combos very well with Shatter, but that's kind of bad. Shatter's kind of a bad card. I don't think this card's going to get much play, to be honest, and that's really it. It's really good for Arena, though, because that means mages aren't as good, and, you know, mages are really overpowered at the moment. So this is a good card. We need this card for that. It's not a good card, but it's good for the game. So we have Cabal Lackey, a 1 mana 2/1 battle cry. The next secret you play this turn costs 0. So we have the same effect on the 3 mana Kirin Tor Mage, not sure how to pronounce it or say it. He is a 4/3 for 3, has the same effect. So you could potentially get 4 mana turn in your turn 1 play, which is really, really strong. But the likelihood of that happening is kind of rare unless you're playing a shitload of secrets, which is fair enough. If you are, then you are. If you aren't, you aren't. A cool tempo play. I think like most of the cards that a mage have are kind of like Ice Barrier is a good card that you would run. Ice Block, but they're for way later on in the game. You don't really care when you want to, you know, if getting them out on turn 1 is good. But, you know, you're probably going to have a turn where you can play it anyway, because, you know, you've got no mana. Unless, of course, you play, like, Mirror Entity. But on turn 1, that's kind of bad, because they'll probably play a 1 mana card, and you're getting a shit card for it. Or, you know, like, Potion of Polymorph, which is the new card, which we'll get into soon. Which is, use Mirror Entity and Potion of Polymorph have the same, way of going around them, but we'll get to Potion of Polymorph. And so I think this card's good, and its effect is really good, but I don't think it's going to be played. So it's bad because it's not going to play, but it's a good card on its own. So next we have a 5 mana 5/5 battle cry. Gain 2 +2/+2 if an enemy is frozen. Now I guess this has synergy with Freezing Potion, but I don't see this card happening much. I mean, fair enough, a 5 mana 7/7 is pretty good, but I don't think that's strong enough. I guess you could get Bran, and then this could become a 5 mana 9/9, which is pretty incredible. But of course, Bran is one of in a deck, and it's not going to last that long in standard anyway. So I don't think it's got that. I don't think it's going to work out. It's an alright card, I suppose, for Arena, because it's 5 mana 5/5 is good. And if they've frozen, then you've got 5 mana 7/7, which is good. But I'm not sure if it's good enough. So we have, of what I mentioned before, Potion of Polymorph. So 3 mana secret. After your opponent plays a minion, transform it into a 1/1 sheep. This card is alright. I don't think it's as. I think it's on the same line as Mirror Entity, because you can stop them the same way. But this also has an advantage where it stops synergy. So just say they play like a card of Death Rattle, they won't get the Death Rattle effect, which is good. Stuff like that, like if they have to play into this card, and of course you've got it, then it's going to be really good. So just say I've got Ragnar's Right Lord, I need to play this now, otherwise I lose. If they've got this certain card, I'm screwed. Then they're fucked. Like it's good like that. But you can play around this card pretty easily. You play a small drop first, then you can play something else. So I think this card's alright, but I don't think it's going to get much play. So we have Volcanic Potion, a 3 mana, deal 2 damage to all minions. An AoE effect, which is pretty cool. I think this is actually alright, to be fair. AoE is pretty good, and so it's always welcome. Arcane Explosion is a 2 mana 1 deal 1, and this is an extra mana, but you get 2 damage. This is really, really good. I think this could get play. I think this will get play in Reno Mage. and it'll be really good there. Maybe it'll get play in a control mage, where they might want to run one of these. I think this card is good, and I think it will get play. So we have Cabal Crystal Runner, a 6-mana 5/5, costs 2 less for each secret you play this game. This kind of reminds me of Thing from Below, and as you know, that card is played in every single Shaman deck, and it's insane. But this card's a bit different as of the secret mechanic behind it, but you get 2 less. So if you're running a secret deck, you could play this on turn 4. 4-mana 5/5 is really good. But the dream is to maybe run Cabal Lackey, 2 of those guys, 2 Kirin Tor Mages, another card that other cards that help with secrets, and then have a 0-mana 5/5, which is pretty ridiculous. And of course, it doesn't have to be in your hand to get the effect. It's if you get this at some point, you'll be like, oh mate, a free 5/5. So it has a lot of potential, and it'll work well in secret decks. But other than that, I don't think it's going to get much play. We have a 3-mana 3/4 Manic Soulcast, the Battle Cry. Choose a friendly minion, shuffle a copy into your deck. This will probably be used in Reno Mage, I think, just so you can get more value from your cards. And it stops you from duplicates as well, because you've got a minion on the field and then you put it back into your deck. So it just means you've got more cards to cycle through. That's pretty good. So I'm seeing what this will get more. The bigger the minion, the better the value, of course. So you'll want to play something for 7 mana, hopefully, and then then use this on. Well, I have to be a turn 10, of course. So 7 mana, then for this 3 mana, put it back into your deck, and it doesn't override your the bad cards thing, where it doesn't override your duplicate clause thing. But yeah, I think this card's pretty good actually. Yeah. Okay, so we have a 7-mana mage spell, Greater Arcane Missiles. Shoot 3 missiles at the random enemy that deal 3 damage each. Now, depending how spell damage works on this card, will determine how good it is. If it changes it to 4 missiles, just say you got spell damage 1, it changes it to 4 missiles, then it's a lot better than it being 4 damage, 3 missiles which do 4 damage each. I think it's going to be 3 missiles for 4 damage. If it is, it's going to be okay. It's not as good as Arcane Missiles, and that card doesn't really get that much play. But if it's the other way around, then this card gets some insane damage off. That's 9 damage, and then that's 12 damage if it's got 1 spell damage and stuff. So there's a lot of potential here, and I like this card. It's a really cool card, but I'm not sure it's going to get much play. Okay then, so we have a 7-mana 5/5 legendary Inkmaster Solia. Battle Cry. If your deck has no duplicates, this next spell you cast this turn costs 0. This is going to be really cool. I like this card. This is definitely going to be running Renos if it comes to fruition, which I'm hoping it will. So there's a lot of people who've been going, oh, you can get Inkmaster Solia, then you play Pyroblast and hit someone's face. And other people have argued that if you're playing Reno, then you're not going to want to do that. You want to go to the end of the game, and you want to use trade cards instead, which is fair enough. But the tempo play from this card is really, really good. I think this card's really good because of that, and its tempo play. You could play Flame Strike or something, or stop the board. There's a lot of really cool highlights this card's going to give off, and I think this card's really good. So I'm going to say it's good, and it's going to be in pretty much every single Reno deck. So we have Paladin this time. So we have a 1-mana 2/1 Grimescale Chum. Battle Cry, give a random Murloc in your hand +1/+1. So 1 mana, pretty much technically a 3/2 stats it's giving you. That's really good for 1 drop. If they are running Murlocs, then Paladin is gonna then this card's gonna be good. As long as they're running Paladin, the Murlocs is good. And I tell you what's really good about this as well is with Paladin in general with this expansion, they've got a lot of cards which increase your stats. So Murlocs will not be as those big pussies at 1 health, so that they could really benefit from these types of cards. And I think this potentially Paladin has a lot of insane synergies which could happen. And when I get to the end of the class, I'm going to go in more depths. So I think this card's decent. I think this card's got potential. So we have a 1-mana spell, Smuggler's Run. Give all minions in your hand +1/+1. This card's going to be good if all of the effects that gives whatever into your hand +1/+1 is good, and I think if it does pull off, this will be in it. So I think this card's got. I'm gonna say it's got potential, because there's there's other cards which give the same effect. I mean, it depends how much you want to increase your. It depends how many of these synergistic kind of cards you want, but consistency is good. So like I think people will run this, and if it's shit, if it's not as good, then they'll get rid of it. If it's good, then they'll keep it. And this card could give off a lot of value as well. So there's a lot this card could do. So I'm gonna say it's got potential. Okay, so Grime Street Outfitter, 2 mana 1/1 battle cry. Give all minions in your hand +1/+1. Again, aggro cards for this class. This card is one of the enablers for the aggro, and we'll get more into that later. I think this card will be run. I think this card's good. It's technically 2 mana 2/2, which isn't good, because like the Grime Scale Chum potentially is a 3/2 technically because of its +1/+1. But oh well, that's just giving it to 1. But like if you're giving it to lots of minions, then this is going to get lots of value. So I think this card's good. Getaway Kodos. When a friendly minion dies, return it to your hand. This could be good. Like if it destroys something that can give you battle cry, or death rattles, better death rattles and stuff. That's good. And it's 1 mana. You can play around this quite easily if you just kill something that's kind of small. This works quite well with Nobles. No, it doesn't. I lied. Noble Sacrifice kind of stops this card from working, because then you've got a Noble Sacrifice in your hand. That's kind of trash. Is it 1 mana 2/1? I guess that's not very good. It kind of doesn't synergize. They don't synergize very well. So I think this card's kind of bad. I don't think it's going to have much play. I think there's better any secrets out there. Unless Secret Pally comes into play, then this will probably get a bit of play. Okay, so with 5 mana 4/4, Grime Street Enforcer. At the end of your turn, give all your minions in your hand +1/+1. So this is technically a 5 mana 5/5, but has potential to become more, which is really good. This will be run with all the other ones just because of this synergy if it gets played. I don't think it's as good as I don't know, like Grime Street Outfit. I'm not sure. I think it's a tiny bit better just because it's battle cry. And I know this like if it was a battle cry, give +1. I don't think it's going to usually survive to give +2/+2 to all of the minions in your hand. But if it does, then it is better. But I'm going to say, I think I said the Grime Street Outfit was good. I think the Grime Street Outfit is a good card, and this card's good as well. But of course, it just depends if the meta is there for them. So we have a 7 mana 6/6 Grime Street Protector, Taunt, Battle Cry, give adjacent minions Divine Shield. This card seems pretty cool. I like the give adjacent minions Divine Shield kind of thing. And it's got Taunt as well, so that's pretty good. Having Taunt would be useful. It depends how good a Divine Shield is to your deck. I think Divine Shield's pretty good. They're really good for like trading into other minions without taking damage and stuff. That's why the 3 mana 2/1 charge Divine Shield's good, because it's good with trading with the 2-drops and stuff, and it usually kills 2-drops, so that's really good. It doesn't really synergize with any other cards in this set, like the Paladin set, but I think it's a pretty solid card. So we have Mean Street Marshal, a 1 mana 1/2 death rattle. If this minion has 2 or more attack, draw a card. This is someone you wouldn't want to play on turn 1, I don't think. At least it doesn't get killed by hero power that does 1 damage. I'm thinking, if you do that, you want a Abusive Sergeant in your hand so you can get the draw the card. So a 1 mana minion that can potentially draw you 1 card is really good. And because of all the synergy that has come with Paladin, with all these like really crazy +1/+1 kind of things, and you only need like 1 card to hit it, then that's really good. I think this card is really, really good. Small Time Recruits, 3 mana, draw 3 1-cost minions from your deck. This card is gonna make or break aggro, I think, because if you got a lot of 1-drops, turn 3, boom, 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 this card that way is really good. And of course in Constructed, this isn't going to see play in Arena. It's not good enough for Arena because you'd have to have a shitload of 1-drops, and it's really rare anyway, so you're not going to try and force the synergy. But the other cards, the other, like in Constructed, you're going to have like so many 1-drops. You're going to have 2 Mean Street Marshals, you're going to have 2 Abusive Sergeants, you're going to have, like, maybe an Argent Squire, maybe 2 of those. That's a lot of 1-drops, and you might even have more if you're doing Grimescale Chum as well. That'll be in your deck, because it's a 1 if you got Murlocs. So there is a lot of, you know, you could draw a lot of cards, even if they are 1-drops, and that's insane. I think this card's good for aggro. But other than that, if you're building control and you're not going to have many 1-drops, they're going to be kind of useless. So you're only going to like draw one cost minion. Why would you run it in your deck? Aggro is where its home is, I think. And we have the legendary Paladin. 3 mana 2/2 Divine Shield Taunt. Gain damage dealt by this minion also heals your hero. Now this card is going to be in the aggro. This card's going to be good for aggro because if you give it loads of like boosts in your hand, then you could have like a 3 mana 4/4 that heals 4 and has taunt and stuff. It's gonna be insane, and it could be scary, like and like especially with Don Honcho, that's gonna turn it into a 7/7, which is kind of insane if you keep it in your hand, and it's got taunt and Divine Shield, and that's really good. But on its own, it's not that strong. Even if it has Divine Shield and Taunt, I'm not exactly sure. I think it will get play in these decks that boost it up. I think that's where its home's going to be. So we have Priest, 1 mana Potion of Madness, gain control of an enemy minion with 2 or less attack until the end of the turn. This card's pretty insane. Like we have Shadow Madness, which is similar, but it costs 4 mana and it bumps up by 1. This is 1 mana and it's only 1 less attack. This card's insane. I'm gonna say this card's good. I'm not sure. I think it'll get play because I think this will get play over Shadow Madness. I think actually. So yeah, this is a good card. It's gonna get play. I think. We have a 3 mana 3/4 Cabal Talon Priest. Battlecry, give a friendly minion +3 attack. Health. I mean, this is very similar to the Cultist, the Dark Cultist. I think Priest. 3 mana 3/4 Death Rattle instead. This card's really strong, and I think it's gonna get play. I think Battlecry's better because they can work around the Death Rattle of a Dark Cultist, but with this guy, they can't really work around it very well. As that, you know, unless they go, oh, he's going to have a Cabal Talon Priest in his hand, so I'm going to kill his board, then they can't work around it, because you're going to go, Battlecry, boom, on straight away, got this effect. So I think Talon Priest is good. Cabal Songstealer, 5 mana 5/5, Battlecry silence a minion, making silence more of a prominent thing. This card's well statted and it has silence, so I think the card's good. I'm not sure if I get play though, because like there's other cards you'd want to play, and there's like other things that you'd rather play. I think it's a good card, but I don't think it'll get priority over other cards. 1 mana Potion, pint-sized potion, give all enemy minions -3 attack this turn only. This can do insane synergy with Shadowwood Horror. 5 mana, potentially get rid of the whole board. If they have 5 attack or more, it gets rid of the board, which is really good. Which means you can get rid of those annoying 9-drops like your Sarah and shit, and they're annoying as hell. So I think that's gonna be really good. I think this card's good, and it's gonna get some play. And it matters if Shadowwood Horror and this can work well enough together, because that's really it, or like Cabal maybe as well, like Cabal Shadow Priest. But I think this card's good, and it'd be cool to see it in play. So another rare potion, a Greater Healing Potion, restore 12 health to a friendly character. This will be mostly used on your hero because it's 12 health. There's not much with 12 health apart from like your Sarah or whatever. But doing that would be pretty insane actually. But I think this is mostly going to be used to heal yourself. And Priest has a lot of healing anyway, but having that extra heal is good. So I think the card's good. But of course, you know, like if it was the same, kind of similar to what is it, the heal card from the 1 mana restore 5 health to a character. It would have been restore 20 health, but that seems a bit overpowered. So I think like this could be a potential 1 card you have in your deck, but plus Priest can heal already, but yeah, I think it's a good card still because it's so much heals, and that's really good. Like you'd have to get that from you'd have to spend 6 mana with the Paladin's what's its face, fucking Forbidden Healing, and they don't have that. Yeah, they have to spend more mana. So this is pretty much more efficient version of that. So I think it's good, and it could be a one-of index. So we have the 5 mana 5/6 Draconid Operative. Battle Cry, if you're holding a dragon, discover a card in your opponent's deck. This is going to be in every dragon deck, and it's got insane stats. It's a dragon, and it discovers a card. It pretty much draws a card from your opponent's deck. So it's pretty fucking good. I think it's going to get play in dragon decks. It's going to be awesome. Moving on. 2 mana 2/3 mana Geode. Whenever this minion is healed, summon a 2/2 crystal. This card has gotten everyone really hyped because it's, oh my god, a priest 2-drop, we've needed 2-drops for like years, and everyone's gone mental. But is this card that good? It's better that it's a 2/3. If it was a 3/2, it wouldn't be as good. But are you going to be able to get that value? And if you do it, yes, it's good. But are you? And that's the question. And most of the time I think no. Unless you're first and you attack into a swan drop or something, you're not going to get much value. And if you get it later on in the game, there's just going to be a fucking shitload of big minions which can take it on. So I don't think it's that good. I think people will try it, and we will find out. I think it's got potential, and it's a really cool card, and I'm glad they introduced it. But I don't think it's that as good as people think, because people think this card's like fucking like insane. I don't think it's that good, but it's cool. So we have a 6 mana another potion, a Dragonfire potion. Just deal 5 damage to all minions except dragons. This is going to be in every priest deck. God, they've made so many good cards of priest. This expansion. This is going to be in every priest deck because it's a really good fucking board clear. It's Flame Strike. If you have dragons on your field, it's Flame Strike, but it's cheaper and it does more damage. It's insane. This card's going to be in fucking priest. The only way this would be really funny, like, if priest cards, if Dragon Priest becomes so overpowered it becomes a tier 1, Dragonfire Potion might not get played because there's too many dragons. It's not going to get any value from your opponent's team. That would be really funny. Like, I'd love that. It's like, Dragonfire Potion's a really good card. Because of the meta, it's terrible. And because everyone's just playing dragons all the time. But I think this card's really good, and I expect to see it get a ton of play, and priests are going to be coming back. I remember when this was one of the first cards they showed, and I was like, this card's really good. Priest is back. So, the legendary for Priest. 5 mana 5/5, Raza the Chained, Battle Cry. If your deck has no duplicates, your hero will have power cost 0 this game. This card is fucking mint. I love this card. A lot of Priest cards, I fucking love this expansion. I'm really excited. This guy has got so much goddamn potential for the Reno. You play Kazakus, which we'll get to. You play this. You play Reno. I'm gonna try my hand at a Reno shadow form priest with Inspire, and I'm gonna have this and those 3 other legendaries, and I think it's gonna be pretty fucking awesome. It's gonna be a really good deck, and I'm really excited for this card. I'm definitely going to be using this card in the future. I think this card's excellent for Reno, because you have to have Reno, and if you're playing Shadow Form, it's pretty much deal 3 damage for 0 mana, which if you're not sure if that's good or not, that's insane. So I think this card's really good. So now we're on to Rogue. 2 mana, deal 2 damage, combo, summon a Jade Golem. I think this card's really cool, and dealing 2 damage for 2 mana is solid, and then getting a minion out of it as well is really good if you combo. So I think this card's good, and I think Jade Golem's going to be really, really good as well. So I think this is going to be in every Jade Golem deck. 2 mana 1/1, Stealth, Death Rattle, Jade Swarmer, summon a Jade Golem. This is good if it's in. This is a cool card if Jade Golems are good, and I think they're going to be really good. So I'm going to say this card's really good. And I'm going to say it's going to be played in every single Rogue Jade Golem deck. It just depends if Jade Golem decks work in Rogue, and if they don't, this card's bad, the same as Jade Shuriken. So we have Shadow Rager, a 3 mana 5/1 Stealth. This is actually good. This is actually a good card. Like, all the other Rager cards are kind of trash. Like, they had the Amger Rager or whatever, which was a 1/5, which was bad. You have, Ice Rager, you have Fire Rager, whatever. And and they're all bad, but this is actually good because of its the stealth's mint, because they can't get rid of it without having an AoE, then this card's going to be mint and it's going to trade up really well, so I think this card's good. Okay then, so we have a 0 mana counterfeit coin, gain 1 mana crystal this turn only. This will get played in Miracle Rogue, I reckon. It's the coin, but you can play it, but you can put 2 of them in your deck. So this is just I think this is gonna be played in Miracle Rogue really well. It's gonna fit in there really well because coin is really good because it's pretty much 0 mana, draw a card, gain a mana crystal for the turn, and if you've got Gadgetzan out, that's really good. So I think this card's good. Gadgetzan Ferryman, 2 mana 2/3 combo, return a friendly minion to the hand. So this is pretty much the 2 mana 3/2 return a minion to your hand neutral, but it's got a combo instead. So I think it's worse than that, and that doesn't get played. So I think this card's kind of bad. But it's an interesting thing. Maybe like someone makes like an incredible crazy deck that somehow fits this in and gets value off Battle Cries or something. We don't know. I think it's not that good though. I'm gonna say it's bad. So we have Shadow Sensei, Battlecry, give a stealthed minion +2/+2. Now I could see this working with Shadow Rager, but I don't think this card's good. The stats are okay, I suppose, and then adding +2/+2 to a stealth minion is decent, and Rogue's the one for stealth, but I don't think this card's good enough. Because of course, unless you're running a fuck ton of stealths, this isn't going to get much value, so I think it's not that good. Actually, before I actually do go, it does work with Shaka the Collector, which is really good, so maybe those two could find a home together. So I'm still going to say it's bad, because I don't think Shaka's that good, spoiler alert, but anyway, let's continue. 5 mana 5/5, Lotus Assassin, Stealth. Whenever this attacks and kills a minion, gain Stealth. That seems really cool. This could just be a really good trade card. And of course this works with Shadow Sensei as well. So it's pretty much Strangleform Tiger, but it's not a beast, but it can pretty much almost get stealth forever. That's really good. I think this card's, I'm not sure if it's going to be run though. It depends. It's hard to say. I think it could get run, but I don't think so. I'm going to say it's got potential, just because it's scary. So next we have a 6 mana 5/5. Its name is Lucky Do Buccaneer. Battlecry. If your weapon has at least 3 attack, gain +4/+4. So this is technically, this could be a 6 mana 9/9. No, a 6 mana 9/9. I'm correct there. So that's really good. That's really good tempo play. It depends what weapons Rogue gets. So you could, in the same turn, Hero Power, use Deadly Poison, play this. That's 3 attack, boom, 6 mana 9/9 and a 3/2 weapon. Or you could play the Assassin's Blade, then play this afterwards. That's also really good. I think this card's really, really good, but I don't think the Pirate Scene is going to work. And for many reasons, just not enough support in Rogue for Pirates. So I think this card's good. It's good. Like if this was in War, it'd be insane. But I don't think it's good enough for. I don't think it's good enough in Rogue. Got the specific class. So we have Shoku the Collector, 3 mana 2/3 stealth. Whenever this attacks, add a random mint card to your hand from your opponent's class. This is what people have said. This is pretty much Undercity Huckster, but it costs 1 more, and it's not as good. I think it has. The question is that can this get 2 cards off your opponent consistently? And I don't know. I don't think so, because 3 mana cards usually have 3 attack, and 2 mana cards can have 3 attack. Unless there's leftover 1 drops, this card's only going to get 1. They're going to kill it in the next. They're going to kill it in their turn. So I think this card's not going to get the extra card, and I don't think it's good enough. I'm going to say it's not good enough. So it's bad. So we have Shaman now, a 4 mana call in the finishes, summon 4 1/1 Murlocs. Pretty much very similar to Stand Against the Darkness, but with Murlocs. I don't think Murloc Shaman's going to work, so I think this card's bad because of it. And getting 4 1/1s isn't that good, even if it is for 4 mana. It's not that good. I don't think it's going to get much play. So we have a 4 mana Jade Lightning, deal 4 damage, summon a Jade Golem. This will get played in Jade Golem decks if they work in Shaman. And yeah, I think Jade Golems could work as in the in Shaman. So I think this card's good because of the Jade Golem thing. I mean, like, you're not getting that much. The deal 4 damage isn't that very good for 4 mana, but the Jade Golem is good, so I'm gonna say it's good. We have the Jade Chieftain, battle 7 mana 5/5 battle cry. Summon a Jade Golem and give it taunt. Now that is really good. I think that's really good. You'd want to use, of course, it's a late game card as well. That makes it better. So like you'd want to use all your other Jade Golem cards and then like get like a 5/5 with like a 6/6 taunt, and that's really good for 7 mana. So I think this card's. There's not much to say. I think Jade Golem's going to be good, so I think this card's going to be good. Okay, so a 2 mana devolve. Transform all enemy minions into random ones that cost 1 less. I think Shaman have other cards which are better than this. This does stop Death Rattle cards, which could be really, really good. But they have other ways of getting rid of minions, and like maybe you give them something like, you know, if they've got a really big minion, they've got like a N'Zoth 10 mana. You use Devolve, it could become a 9 mana card that's even better because like stat wise or like maybe effect wise because the battle cry's gone. So like this could potentially be bad for you, but I think it's a good card, but I think other cards are. It's got other ways of getting rid of cards, and I think they're better. 2 mana 2/2 weapon Shaman, rare. Jade Claws, Battlecry, summon a Jade Golem, overload for 1. So this is really similar to that Stormforge axe or something they have, I think. But it's got 1 less charge and it summons a Jade Golem, which I think's arguably a lot better. So I think this card's good. That's really it. I think that's all I can really say. Like 2 attack charges is good. 2 attacks, not as good as 3 attack. Like 3 attacks are really, like, you know, that's why Fire Raw Axe is incredible. But I think this is good just because of this the battle cry. So we have a 4 mana 3/6 Jinyu Water Speaker. Battle cry, restore 6 health, overload for 1. Being able to restore health is really, really good, and it's got really good health and attack and 4 mana 3/6 is really, really good. Priest of the Feast is really good. There's a lot of good 4 mana 3/6s out there. So I think this card's really good, and Shaman need healing, and this could easily fit into mid range. It's a pretty cool card as well. I really like this card. I think it's gonna get play. So Finders Keepers, 1 mana, discover a card with overload and overload for 1. So overload cards are usually really, really good, and I think you could get another you could get Jade Claws. There's a lot of really good overload cards out there. So I think this card's good, but I don't think it's good enough to sit in Shaman, because Shaman at the moment is fucking really, really good. They've got so many good cards. I'm not sure if this is going to be useful enough to sit in Shaman, like in a deck. But the card is good, and it could be used, and it's quite versatile as well. Like this card's really, really versatile, and that's really good. But I'm not sure if that's the best. I think it's a good card, but I don't think it's good enough, because Shaman's OP as fuck at the moment. Okay, so we have a 4 mana 3/5 Lotus Illusionist. After this minion attacks a hero, transform it into a random 6 cost minion. I think this card's really good, because a 4 mana 3/5 is still really good, so it will usually survive, and when it attacks the hero, I think what happens is because otherwise it'd be a bit unfair. It attacks, it does 3 damage, and then it turns into a 6 cost minion. So on turn 5, you've got a 6 cost minion out, so that seems really, really good. And I think this card is good, but is it good enough to be in mid-range Shaman? I'm not sure. I think it's got potential, but we will see. So we have a 5 mana 5/5 White Eyes, Taunt, Death Rattle, shuffle the Storm Guardian to your deck, and the Storm Guardian is a 5 mana 10/10 with Taunt, I think. I think it's got Taunt. I know it's a 5 mana 10/10. So it's pretty fucking. This card seems fucking insane, but what people have said is, and I think they hold some weight, is it's kind of like, it reminds me of Alyss Starseeker. You're only going to get Bold Monkey near the end of the game, because you shuffle the card into your deck, you shuffle the actual Gold Monkey into your deck, then you get it near the end of the game, which is it's still a good card, but I'm not sure if that's good enough. This you'll get the Storm Guardian near the end of the game, which it's a really good card, of course. If 5 mana 10/10, Shaman's getting insane. I think this card's really good at, and it suits more control Shaman as well. So that'll sit in there really nicely. Yeah, the Storm Guardian's a 10 mana, 5 mana 10/10 with taunt. That's incredible. Okay then, so Warlock. We have a 4 mana 5/4 Crystal Weaver Battlecry. Give your demons +1/+1. I'm not sure if this is good enough. There's not that many demon cards in play. Well, there is, of course, for Warlock, but it's not. I don't think it's going to sit very well because there's not many. There's not like a specific demon deck out there that people play, and in that sense, it's not going to get play, even if it does have good stats. Okay, so a 4 mana spell, Blast Crystal Potion, destroy destroy a minion and one of your mana crystals. I think keep fucking with me in words. I think Warlock has better cards. This might see playing Reno, but you'll want to keep your mana crystals, to actually like play other cards and like stay on curve with your opponent. So I think this card's alright, but I don't think it's good enough to put in many Warlock decks. So we have a 7 mana 6/6 Abyssal Enforcer Battlecry. Deal 3 damage to all other characters. This is pretty much Dread Infernal and Crack, and I think it's really good. This will sit in a Reno deck very nicely, I think. The deal 3 damage to board AOE kind of thing is really good for aggro, but aggro will fuck you over, and you might not want to use this card because it will like really hurt. It will hurt you as well. I think it's a good card and it will sit well in a Reno. I'm not sure if it'll fit in bigger decks. I mean, like more consistent decks, ones with like 2. I don't think there'll be 2 of this card in the deck, just because it does so much damage to yourself. But we will see. I think this card's good, but not good enough for like constructed 2 of each card. I don't. People will put like 1 of these in their decks. So we have a Blood Fury Potion, 3 mana, give a minion +3 attack. If it's a demon, also give it +3 health. So I don't think the demon thing's going to work out. I mean, it's okay, I suppose. +3 attack's okay, and then +3 health for +3/+3 for 3 mana is really good if it's a demon. But I still don't think that's good enough for them. Fair enough, it's a good card. For demons, but I don't think it's going to push demon decks up. So I'm going to say it's a good. I'll say it's a card with potential, but it's not good enough to put in. It's not good enough because there isn't really many demon decks out there. So we have a 4 mana 4/2 Sea Devil Stinger Battlecry. The next Murloc you play this turn costs health instead of mana. Reminds me of what everyone thought Dr. 7 was going to be. What's its face? Cho'Gall. It reminds me of Cho'Gall, and but with Murlocs instead. This works really well with Finya, the ninja Murloc. If that somehow works out for Warlock, then that'd be pretty cool. But I don't see this getting that far, to be fair. So I think this card's. I think it's a good card. I think it's the right card, but it's not good enough to put to. I don't think a Murloc Warlock deck's going to work out. So Fell Fire Potion, 6 mana, deal 5 damage to all characters. This card's really cool, and I think this will definitely be in Reno decks as well, and it'll probably be in these AOEs. It's a really good AOE card as well, so I think this card's good, and it'll be in there'll be 2 of it in some decks. Depends how much healing you got, and Reno, you'll definitely stick one of these in a Reno deck. So we have Unlicensed Apothecary. Whenever you summon a minion, deal 5 damage to your hero. 3 mana 5/5. That seems pretty good. So you could use this to trade with 2s, and then when it dies, you can actually start playing minions again. Or you can, you might just use this as aggro, and then play like a big minion or something. Even if it does 5 damage to you, you'll win anyway because you got like really good tempo play. I think this card's pretty decent, and I think it's really well designed. So we have Cabal Trafficker, 6 mana 6/6 at the end of your turn, add a random demon to your hand. That's really good. Like if the battle cry was add a random demon to your hand, if it was battle cry instead, that'd be good. But it's at the end of your turn, so I think that's pretty decent actually. And you could get some really good demons as well. So I think this card's good. But it depends if because it'll want, of course, you'll want demon synergy. So I'm not sure if it's good enough to have demon synergy. You know, like a demon like centered deck. But I think people will try it, and I might give it a crack. There's quite a lot of demon-based cards, like this time round. Okay, so we have a 9-mana 7/9 Cruel the Unshackled battle cry. If your deck has no duplicate, summon all demons from your hand. It kind of reminds me of the Zoff. It kind of reminds me of not the Zoff, Deathwing Dragonlord, where you play all your dragons from your hand. And that doesn't get that much play, even if it is a crazy card with 12 attack and health. But it's of course a battle cry, so like they could keep it alive or whatever. I think that this will be a card that you'll play in control, you know, Reno, and then like you'll go, okay, I want to end the turn next turn, and then play this. But if they somehow get rid of your cards, and you're fucked. You know, if they like AoE you, then you're screwed, and that's like rip for you, I think. So I think this card's potential. I think people will run it in Reno decks if they have demons in it. But I think it's one of the card. It will be one of the first cards you'll take out because because that means you have to also put demons in your deck as well. So I think this card's got potential. Okay, so we have Warrior. So the first card is a 1-mana Discover a Taunt minion. I know a guy. So like there's a lot of taunts are like 3, 4, 5s, I think, and that's really cool. So this will be like you'll probably get a mid-range guy. This will be good to stop aggro with a lot of, that's what taunts are really good for. And if this works out, maybe you know, other taunt cards like Bolster and that will work. But I highly doubt it, to be fair. But I think this card's alright. I mean, it's quite cool in the common slot, because if you're constructed and you don't have much, if you're free to play, you'll usually get this card, and you can put it in your deck and hopefully get like Sog Off or something, like insane value or something. But I think it's alright. I think it's got potential if the Taunt Warrior kind of thing comes out. So we have a 2-mana 0/7 Taunt Public Defender. This card's really cool because it stops, it potentially stops aggro for a while, and you know, it keeps you alive for a bit. But it doesn't. Because it's got no attack. They don't mind really. Like it just kind of like sucks up 7 health, unless of course you play other cards that they have, which we'll get to. I think this card's decent if the taunt meta comes. I'm not sure if it will get played otherwise, because it's got no attack, but it's got really good health. So we have a 4-mana 4/3 Grimy Gadgetzan. At the end of your turn, give a random minion in your hand +2/+2. This could be really cool. I think I could see this getting play. And it's at the end of your turn as well. But will this survive a turn? Possibly. I mean, a 4/3 can trade down. Could trade down with a 2, which is bad. But the +2/+2 could be used really well. I think this card's got potential, but I don't think it's that good because it can trade down like really badly with a 2-drop, and that's not good. So we have Stolen Goods. Now this is, if this card is strong enough, Taunt Warrior will be meta defining. Stolen Goods. Give a random Taunt minion in your hand +3/+3. If Taunt Warrior becomes a thing, this card's insane. If it doesn't, then I don't think this card's good enough. But getting +3/+3 on a taunt and then like throwing it down, like you could Public Defender could become a 3/10, which is fucking really good. And like other cards that I've mentioned, all the other taunts, they get +3/+3, and that's fucking really good. Like Sog Off becomes like a 7/8, 6/7/8 mana fucking 12, is it? Fuck, incredible! Like so much like shit. It's crazy. This card's good if Taunt Warrior becomes a thing, I think. So we have Grime Street Pawnbroker. Battlecry, give a random weapon in your hand +1/+1. This is quite cool. It depends though, because it's a 3-drop, and if you have Fiery War Axe and this, you might want to play Fiery War Axe on turn 2 if they have a card, but maybe you want to be a bit greedy, play this first, and then you'll get a better War Axe. I think it's quite a cool card, and I think it could get play. I think it could get. I think it's potential because it's a 3-mana 3. It's on curve, and its Battlecry is really good. So I'm going to say it's got potential. So we have a 5-mana 2/7 taunt. Whenever this minion deals damage, gain that much armor. So this card as well, with Stolen Goods, it becomes a 5/7, and it's really good. And you could get so much goddamn armor from this. If you buff this guy, it's going to have some insane armor potential. And it's gonna that could be really, really good. And it's also really hard to get rid of because 7 health is pretty awesome as well, especially at 5 mana. So I think this card's good for the taunt meta, if that becomes a thing. And even then, it's actually still quite a solid card, to be fair. So like, I think it's a good card. So 2 mana, Sleep with the Fishes, deal 3 damage to all damage minions. Kind of. This would work well with Ravaging Ghoul. Ravaging Ghoul. This 5 mana, deal 5 damage to all damage minions. Deal 4 damage. That seems pretty good to me. But depends how many Whirlwind effects are sat around out there. And I don't think there's going to be too many. I mean, there's like Ravaging Ghoul, maybe Whirlwind. It depends. Like maybe Grim Patron, I suppose. But I'm not sure. But this card doesn't work well with Grim Patron because it'll kill all your Grim Patrons. You'll get upset. So I think this card's potential. 4 mana Brass Knuckles. After your hero attacks, give a random minion in your hand +1/+1, and it's a weapon. So this is alright. It's kind of slow. I mean, like there's other cards that would work with it, like the Grime Street Pawnbroker would work well with this card. And then you're getting a lot of value like that, but it's quite slow. And but if it was a 4, if it comes a 3/4, then it's really, really good. And you get, +1/+1, so you get +4/+4, like, over the time, which is really, really good. So, I think this card's got potential, but I'm not sure if it'll be run over other weapons. Also, weapons can be destroyed by, like, acidic swamps and stuff, and that can suck. So we have Hobart Grapple Hammer, 2 mana, 2/2, Battlecry, give all weapons in your hand, deck +1 attack. This will be really good. I think if Pirate could work for Taunt, not for Taunt, for fucking Warrior, and this card could help with that. And it also helps with weapons straight away anyway, because it makes Brass Knuckles a 3/3 into your, and that's really good. And it makes all the other weapons really strong anyway. So it makes your Ghoul Howl like a 8/1 as well. Just really good stuff. I think Hobart's really good. Okay then, so we've only got a few more cards left now. So we've got the tri-class cards. So we have the Grimy Goons right now. There's 3 in each set. Grimy Goons have for our Hunter, Paladin, and Warrior cards. So first it's Grime Street Smuggler, 3 mana, 2/4. Give a random minion in your hand +1/+1. Same as before. This will sit in like maybe one of the Paladin decks, maybe Hunter, Warrior. I don't know, because they don't have that much assistance when it comes to that. But I think it's okay. I think it's alright. I'm gonna say it's got potential. Yeah, stretch and grow. So now another Grimy Goon, Grime Street Informer. 2 mana 1/1 Battlecry, discover a Hunter, Paladin, and Warrior card. Out of all there's a lot of cards that are like, there's 1 in each set which are like this. I think this is the best one out of all of them, because it's the smallest one, so that means you can discover a bigger card and play it the same turn. So out of all of those, it's the best one. I think that makes it a potential, a potential maybe even good because of that. Okay, so we have Don Hancho, a 7 mana 5/6, and this card is, I think this is going to be the next Doctor Boom, because give a random minion in your hand +5/+5. That makes it a 10/11 in stats that's given away. That's incredible. There's so many synergies that this card has. I think this is going to be an auto-include in some decks. It's incredible. I think this card's really good. So now we have the Jade Lotus cards, Druid, Rogue, and Shaman. So Jade Spirit, Battlecry, summon a Jade Golem. I think Jade Golem card's going to be really good, but this one's like the weakest out of all of the Jade Golem cards. But I think you'll put it in. I think this card's technically potential, but because it's not that good of a card. But it's just gonna, because you want as many Jade Golem cards in your deck, you're gonna put it in anyway for that for the value from your Jade Golem. So I think it'll be put in decks. We have a 5-mana 5/3 Lotus Agents Battlecry Discover Druid Rogue or Shaman card. This card is the worst one out of all of the Battlecry Discover ones because it's the biggest one. So I think it's bad because of that. I think it's just too big. I mean, fair enough, the minion's strong, but I don't think it's good enough because of that. So we have Aya Blackpaw, 6-mana 5/3 Battlecry and Death Rattle, summon a Jade Golem. This is going to be in every Battlecry and Death Rattle Jade Golem deck, sorry, and it works with N'Zoth as well. So this card's pretty awesome. I think this card's going to be, this is in every Jade Golem deck, but this is auto-include, it's just too good. Okay, and the final 3 cards, we have the Cabal cards, so Mage, Priest, and Warlock. We have the Cabal Chemist, Battlecry, add a random potion to your hand. So, like, the potion cards are, like, the ones that I've talked about before, so Volcanic Potion, Dragonfire Potion, Foulfire Potion, Pint-Sized Potion, all those cards. I think this card's going to be really good, because most of the cards that you get from those are really tough. Like, you know, if you get Foulfire Potion, that's another board clear. If you get Dragonfire Potion, that's another board clear. You get Volcanic Potion, that's another board clear. You have Potion of Madness, which is a really good 1-mana card. You have Pint-Sized Potion, which can be useful. You have a lot of cards that are really good. So I think this card's going to be good because of the pool of the cards. We also have a Cabal Courier, which is a 3-mana 2/2, Discover a Mage, Priest, or Warlock card. This is the one in the middle. This card is potential, and like Mage, Priest, and Warlock have pretty good cards. So I think this has got potential, to be fair. And I think this card will get some play, but the best one is the 2-mana 1/1 because the it's the one that costs the least. And we have Kazakus, the final card, 4-mana 3/3 Battlecry. If your deck contains no duplicates, create a custom spell. And there's a fucking shitload to choose from. There's like Restore Health, Summon Minions, Board Clears, Draw Cards, and you get to choose. It's like 1-mana, I think it's either 1-mana or 2-mana, or a 5-mana or a 10-mana. And like, this is insane. This card's going to be in every Reno-based Cabal deck, and it's going to fucking wreck fucking house. I think this card's insane. And it works really well in Mage because of the Mage Legendary. And it's just gonna fucking roast. I think Kazakus is a really good card. It's gonna be in every Reno deck. Okay then, so that's every single Mean Streets of Gadgetzan card. I feel like I've talked quite fast. I apologise for speaking so quickly. But I'm really excited for this. I think this is going to be a really good expansion. I hope it helps sort out Arena. I hope it makes control more prominent. I think Paladin is, if the Paladin aggro Paladin works with all the like the 1-drops and you know the drawing the cards and the small time recruits and stuff, that will be the deck that defines how fast the meta is. And if it's good, then that's scary because that means we've got like fucking scary, fucking annoying, really fast, have to adapt to it because otherwise you just get roasted card which stops control, and I really like control. Also Taunt Warrior has got a lot of potential this time, and I really like Reno Priest is going to be insane, and I cannot wait to play that. Other than that, I think this expansion is going to be really, really good, and I can't wait for it to play it. Play with the new cards when they come out. So, thank you for watching. This has been Be Random Gaming. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed what you thought of the cards. I hope I don't get too many of them wrong. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. See you next time. And goodbye.